everyone. Welcome to the latest of the Overboard Network, a Below Deck podcast. We're back with episode 10 of Below Deck Med titled Finding the Groove, which, Sean, I continue to hate all of the titles of this show. And this is just a crazy, lazy play on like a 70s groove party because no one found their groove here, man. It wasn't even close.
There were no like grooves. There was no one found it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's terrible. In this week's episode, we enjoy a new charter group coming on. Storm continues to have issues fitting in as bosun. Natasha continues with relationship issues and provides the guests with a party favor that they really weren't looking for. It'll be interesting to see what the ratings are for this episode, Sean, because this is the same time as the Emmys are on. But Sean, I really have to ask, if you missed this episode, is there really anything you need to be caught up on?
Also, first in the Monday Night Football game too of the year. There's a lot.
I'll tell you, this is dedicated. Yeah, as a huge Broncos fan, I care about this podcast more than I do about watching that.
That's how committed we are. Yeah, we're doing it during halftime, but still, no. Yeah, like I don't think they care about the ratings for Below Deck Med because it's on Peacock a week early.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think they're like, whatever, people like Below Deck. We don't care about the weekly ratings for this version of it. But yeah, as far as like what happened during this episode, not much. I think we get a few, like a kind of going deeper into maybe a mutiny happening with the interior with Cal and Natalia. You see a little bit of that, a little bit more evidence of that, obviously. And then also just another chapter in the Jason Storm thing. Just Jason, no one liking Jason on deck, and just so like nothing crucial happened this episode, but it's kind of building to bigger things happening later during the season.
It's
like a perfect episode if you're like watching like 3 in a row.
Right.
Yeah, but like as far as like on its own, no, 9-10 happened.
Yeah, no, I think you hit on the big points too here, right? Obviously, Natalia and Kyle are having a little bit more issues with Natasha here. Maybe that's where we start too. I think so. It kind of starts off with what they're complaining about, the amount of provisions Natasha's ordering, or maybe just being befuddled completely by how much she's ordering.
Yeah. Well, look, that if you're a stew, that's probably the hardest part of the job. Right. And I was like, I mean, I think for maybe not for guys, it is like, I'm sure like Storm and Z and like Jason are cool with it because you're just like picking up boxes and putting them in a different place. But especially if you're Natalia, it's like, I don't know. She probably doesn't want to like lift heavy stuff all day.
Plus you got to fridge everything, right?
Yeah, like finding a spot for everything like that. Like moving stinks. You're basically moving. You're unpacking a huge truck and putting everything away when you don't have space to begin with. So legitimate gripe. Yeah, I was thinking, I'm sure Chief Stews have been fired before for ordering too much stuff.
See, I don't know where the bill goes there because I would think that you just you pay a flat fee to be on the boat. They're not going to bill you for food after. It's probably a flat fee that's inclusive of everything. So really you could argue that you're eating into margins, but at the end of the day, the boat has it. So it's like, if you order way too many like champagne bottles, you're still going to have them on boat at some point. It's inventory that just kind of goes on the balance sheet.
Yeah. And also it'd be worse if you ran out of something that the guest wanted.
Right.
Then you're actually going to get into trouble. Yeah, that's a good point. So maybe it's just playing it safe, ordering way too much of everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not going to hear from Cindy about it.
Her money.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Also, they were also kind of complaining about arrival drinks, which I'll say this. I don't remember any of the previous charters having these like extravagant like welcome drinks, but then they did like a like a real quick like cutaways. So like each charter, they had like a huge like drink setup. I guess I remember like the one blueberry one, I guess, but
Mm.
all the other ones I don't remember. I don't know if it's kind of like a more nice thing to do than champagne, but I can see why it's a pain in the ass, I guess.
So I'd rather have a mixed drink than champagne. I don't personally like champagne that much,
Sure.
but I feel like every other chief stew gets away with just doing champagne.
Right.
I don't know. So maybe that is like Natasha kind of trying to go above and beyond or be more creative. I If she wants to do that, don't think Natalya and Kyle can gripe too much.
Yeah.
Part of your job, right?
Yeah. It's like that's what the Chiefs do wants to do.
Yeah, it's one less drink you have to make for them later. You're getting them already drunk. Yeah.
When then one more thing about Natasha I want to bring up. Did you notice the text with her boyfriend now just say like one unread like we don't read them anymore, right?
We don't read them. Thank you.
Which, yeah, honestly, they were nauseating. But also, do you think that's like a one-off? Because it was like Natasha then sent a message to her sister telling her sister to text her boyfriend about like weird messages she's getting. I'll tell you, Natasha seems like a nightmare to deal with.
Did she just break up with her boyfriend?
I don't think so. She texted, or she left like a voice message to her sister to text her boyfriend for her, which is like a real like 14-year-old move to do.
John, if your girlfriend had her like, I don't know, cousin text you to stop texting her, I feel like you wouldn't you feel like, okay, I think that's over.
Yeah, that's the end of the relationship. Yeah. And I'll say this, that's probably the end of the relationship, because I don't think I want to be with someone who uses like a relative to not only like air out all the dirty laundry, but like use them as like a medium. Just seems like an insane move.
Yeah, she's gonna be back with Dave soon. Because by the way,
it was a nightmare.
Dave had a great edit tonight. Like Dave was just in the best spirits the entire day. Because like he was kind of a downer like the last 2 times they went out and everything, and he was smart. He's like, I'm not gonna go out tonight. Just gonna get a good night's sleep, and he like best mood the entire time. He's wearing that wig, really vibing to that, and
yeah,
good Dave episode. I like his move of basically just doing like past hors d'oeuvres for dinner.
Well, they wanted like tapas, right?
Yeah. I mean, those are very small tapas.
Sure, yeah.
Especially with like a charter full of girls, that works. Because they don't feel like too full or anything.
Exactly. It worked out well. And then he was doing some like decontrusted stuff. Well, I can't say that word, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have on them. But yeah, great edit for Dave. I agree. Do you want to get a little bit? Oh yeah, I guess the last thing we want to talk about, Natasha not being able to read the room. Now I don't understand the order of the order of events here, but so Steven is the name of the dildo that's been on board, right?
Yeah,
that's just been like cosmetic as far as we know. But like, what's the deal with like them asking for Steven, but then they didn't realize it was a dildo? Like they kept saying like, when is Steven coming out? Maybe he comes out tonight. And then like,
did Kyle bring him up?
Yeah, I don't know how they thought it was like something fun or kinky or whatever, and then
they thought he was a pirate. They thought it was like,
I don't know,
some random crew member they don't get to meet until you ask for him. Yeah.
I mean, I guess my question is who would have thought a Steven wouldn't be a hit for a mother-daughter charter, right?
Yeah, it's tough. Little Michael Scottish from Natasha tonight.
Yeah.
That's just funny when you see like a joke just not hit. It is really funny.
And then she kind of like kept it going. She's like, "Here, you take it. You now put it in your mouth." And it's like, "What are we doing here?" I'll say this: I call BS on Kyle. I think he probably thought it was a good idea to bring out Steven. and he's just trying to save face like after the fact. Am I off guard here? Am I off base?
He said he was never really vibing with these guests at all.
Yeah.
I don't really know. They seem like fine. They're just like average American girls, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're pretty
like,
normal.
Yeah, like what, like, I guess they're kind of basic, right? I don't know. Like, I'm sure that's.
I mean, to be fair though, Kyle's in love now. With the guy he met for 48 hours, Frank. He's in love. So every charter is just going to be worse and worse because the love of his life isn't there anymore.
I don't want to step on our awards later, but yeah, we're very muted Kyle episode.
Yeah,
I feel like had he gone up there too and really like embraced it, it would have saved Natasha's joke.
Could have,
right? Because
yeah,
I don't know, when Kyle's really into something, I feel like the guests usually respond. So but there's a little mini immunity happening with the interior. And I think it's like if Kyle and Natalya are used to be chief stews. And at first I'm sure like this is great. I have way less pressure on me. I don't have to do as much work. But there's still that like kind of human urge to show off like what you can do.
Right.
And kind of challenge yourself also. So I don't know. I think they're gonna continue to like undermine her in like little ways.
Well, I mean, I know we talked about it last week, but we saw the like later this season, and like the interior crew just like goes off the rails pretty much. I think this whole season goes off the rails. After you watch that, like what later this season on Below Deck is like Natasha's crying all the time. Kyle's yelling at Natalya. Natalya's yelling at everybody, including Storm. Like it just seems like an absolute shit show from here. And I don't know when it starts, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, this was slow build foreshadowing episode.
Yeah,
where not a ton happens. But we do have to talk Jason and Storm again, right? I mean,
yeah. Here's the thing, Sean. Jason was like my favorite character on board until tonight, and he just had a terrible episode. So,
wait, Jason?
You know what?
No, Storm was right.
No, Jason was my favorite character, and I'm gonna say this. I do have to admit it. I was low on Jason throughout the entire season, but I wasn't nearly low enough, and I apologize for being so off. He stinks. He's just not doing anything anymore. I don't know what else to say about the guy.
John, you're a manager, right? At your job?
Yeah.
Okay. If I don't know, like whatever, Storm asked him to like polish some of like the stainless steel in the boat, and he doesn't do it. And Storm notices and goes, "Hey, Jason, when you do this, you gotta like go harder." He goes, "Oh, I just didn't do that." Like he didn't say like I forgot to or like I didn't try hard enough. It was just like I didn't get to it. I feel like as a manager, wouldn't you rather him lie and say like I forgot to? Like, what do you do with I didn't do it? He's almost it's like too honest, where it's like, oh, okay.
I'll honestly, I think Storm's not okay. Listen, Jason stinks, right? But at the same time, I don't think Storm's being a really good manager here. Like, you have to have that conversation with Jason. You can't just like keep talking to like Z about how much Jason stinks. You have to like have that conversation with him and be like, dude, I need you to do your job because we need to operate together. And he's just not doing that. And I think it's kind of tough.
He cleans the stainless steel that he asked Jason to do.
Yeah.
So he should have just made him do it. Like once he like called him out on it, he should have like go, okay, like do it right now. And he does it himself. So he's not that comfortable delegating yet.
And I think Sandy actually brought that up to him later. She's like, Storm, you're running around too much. You need to like let them do it. And if they fail, correct them. And I don't know, maybe this is just like the trials of like a first time manager or a first time bosun. Like you feel like you still have to do everything when like you have a team to do it, man. Except Jason, because he's not going to do it.
Except Jason. Funniest moment of the season, though, unintentionally funniest, was when they're on the beach and Jason just drives by on the wave runner and yells to Storm, "You have to come back."